Grilling is easy when you have the right tools, the right ingredients, the right recipe, and of course the right chef. And that is none other than Grill Master Bobby Flay. Good morning, Bobby. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Kristen. How are you today?
Doing well. Great to have you on the show. Now we want to get to the grilling. What do we need to grill great food?
Well, good ingredients and, just a couple of techniques that will really help you, get through the basics. And I always tell people not to be intimidated by the grill. I think for some reason people are. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the flames or getting the grill started or, or worrying about things sticking. I always tell people, don't be intimidated. It's a if you follow some very, very simple rules, you'll be totally fine. I mean, the first thing is you want to think of the grill as basically a stove, a stovetop with grates on it. I mean, that's really what it is, okay. Especially a gas grill. And also, you don't need to keep turning and flipping things all the time. That's when people get in trouble, and that's when things really start to stick. Put something on the grill, like for instance a steak or a burger, put it on high heat, put it on the grill, and leave it alone. Walk away from the grill. Don't be tempted to check to see if it's sticking, because that's when it actually starts to stick. You need to let the grill do its job, and actually in about 3 or 4 minutes, if you just leave it alone, it will actually come away from the grill by itself, and then you can just flip it one time and cook it on the other side.
So you really want to go for just trying to flip it one time then, at most? One or two times at most? Okay.
Interestingly enough, you want to grill minimally when you're grilling, right? I mean, you just want to let you yourself want to be you just want to be the chaperone of the grill. You don't necessarily have to be constantly, flipping and turning.
I'm bad about that. I'll try to go in there and test it and check it. So what is the best way to test it? If you're only flipping it one time, how do you test the meat, fish, or chicken for the doneness?
Well, I think the best way to do it is have a meat thermometer. Like if you want to cook a steak to medium rare, you put the meat thermometer into the steak, and it should be about 125 degrees. And then if you want to cook more, obviously, to medium, maybe 135 and on. But just think about it this way: 125 degrees for a medium rare steak. And if you're not sure about the temperatures, I mean, if you go to the internet, you can find it right away, and they'll tell you. But a meat thermometer is really the best way to do it. You don't want to start cutting into the steak and cutting it in half, because that's when the juices kind of run out, and so a meat thermometer is really the way to go.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
And then also vegetables on the grill are really, incredibly important too. And I'm actually grilling some corn today, right on the grill. And I leave the husks on. I actually soak it in some water to create some moisture so it doesn't burn. And then I put the husks over the corn so it actually protects the kernels from charring too much. And then what I do is I make a butter out of some maple syrup, some garlic, and some smoked chilies, and I just slather the butter right on top of the grill. Just like right on top of the corn.
Yeah. Now I've seen some cooks or just people in general put tinfoil over the corn. Do you not want to do that? Is that?
No, you can do that too. Okay. But I just think that you have this, the corn has this natural protectorant on the outside. So why not use it? And it kind of looks great for presentation as well.
Yeah, I like the way that looks. Now, what are some of your favorite recipes? What do you cook for your family?
I cook for my family all kinds of things, steak, fish, obviously chicken, lots of vegetables, but I'm thinking about New Mexico. You know what I want right now? I want a green chili cheeseburger. That's exactly what I want.
Green chili,
you guys are the king of the green chilies out there in New Mexico. And so I have a Southwestern restaurant in New York, and so I use green chilies all the time, whether from Hatch or poblano chilies, serranos, all those great green chilies. I want a green chili cheeseburger. That's exactly what I want. Medium rare, extra cheese, lots of green chilies. What do you think?
Do you have any recipes for the green chili cheeseburger online?
Yes, I do. If you go to bobbyflay.com, you can get the green chili cheeseburger recipe. I actually did a show, a throwdown for green chili cheeseburgers in a place called San Antonio, New Mexico, which I was defeated by the local talent of New Mexico, and they should beat me because they make great food there.
And the green chili.
So, and also, have you watched Food Network Star at all this year?
Yes.
Sunday nights at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Really great competition. We're looking for the next Food Network star. We're in our 7th season. We have a lot of terrific. I don't think we have anybody from New Mexico this year, but we have some people from the Southwest, so they're representing your region.
Oh, I know we have some great cooks here. We've had a ton of them on the show, so they should definitely keep that in mind. Now, of all the programs you've hosted and best-selling books that you've written, do you have an all-time favorite recipe?
An all-time favorite recipe? Well, you know, I have a new show on the Food Network called Bobby Flay's Barbecue Addiction, which is on Sundays at 11 o'clock in the morning. And I just did this show that was sort of inspired by the Pacific Northwest. And I did these beautiful Dungeness crabs in this sort of Asian-style broth right on top of the grill, where I took the Dungeness crabs. You've ever seen a Dungeness crab? They're about this big, and they have so much meat in them. They're just absolutely, you know, just so incredibly delicious. And you know, it had, you know, some soy sauce, and some rice wine and scallions and ginger and garlic, and I just covered it on the grill. So I used the grill like an oven, and they just sort of steamed in that sort of bath of all those incredible flavors, and finished it with some cilantro and some green onions and just a little bit of butter, and just kind of sort of dunked that delicious crab in all those juices. Just amazing flavor.
That sounds amazing.
Like when you asked me that question, that's like the first thing I thought of.
Well, now, can you give us some insider information on Bobby Flay's Barbecue Addiction?
Insider information? Like, what do you want to know?
Any secrets? Anything that people don't know? I don't know. What can you give us?
Well, let's see. You know, I think here's an interesting thing. Cedar planks, which is you know, is also again something that the Native Americans in the Pacific Northwest really taught us how to cook with. And they like to cook like whole slabs of salmon right on the cedar plank. And so you take the cedar plank and you soak it, and then you put it on the grill, so it actually, the oils come out of the cedar plank and gives it this really fantastic flavor. And then you cook the salmon right on top of the grill, on top of the cedar plank, so it picks up that nice smoky flavor, as opposed to having, you know, to set up a big smoker and waiting for a long time. You get this really nice subtle flavor from the cedar plank. But I also do it with burgers. I made a cedar plank burger with a barbecue sauce on top, and again, it gives it that nice smoky flavor. You still get the char on the burger, and then you get the nice, obviously, the flavor from the barbecue sauce itself.
Oh, well,
that's
great.
just another tip from Barbecue Addiction.
Well, great tips there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thanks for tuning in.
And of course, we're going to have the recipes for Bobby Flay favorites on our website at casa.com.